Hi everyone, my name is Julie from Challenge to Change Incorporated, and I'm so grateful to be here to offer a yoga session for you today. As educators, you are so dedicated to your work, and I know that you pour so much time and energy into your classroom and your students, and it's so important to take that same care, that same love, that same attention to pour some of that back into yourself too, which is kind of the intention of our yoga practice today. So for your yoga practice, all you need is a yoga mat or a towel or just a carpeted space. I would encourage you to take yourself somewhere quiet where you hopefully won't be interrupted. And if you are, just know that yoga is about breathing where you are and not being perfect. And get yourself in something comfortable for your practice. So I always like to offer this. Everything I give you is an invitation. You can RSVP no to any of my invitations. So what that means is if I give you a cue, like lift your right leg, and it doesn't feel good when you do it, or if I ask you to try to take a deep breath or try a different posture, it's just an invitation for you. So please listen to your body, honor where you are, and be really good to yourself today. The intention of today's practice is to be here now. We spend so much time analyzing the past and planning the future. And the greatest gift of mindfulness is the gift of being in the present, because it allows us to fully experience and feel whatever is with us in that moment, whether it is amazing or challenging. So your invitation today is just be fully present. If you notice your mind wanders, that's completely normal and natural. I'm a yoga and mindfulness instructor, and mind wanders too. So just give yourself a little bit of grace. We're going to start today laying on our backs. So getting yourself onto your back with great care to your body. Let your legs go long. Let your arms go by your sides. And let's just arrive. Close your eyes, make any movements you need to with your body. Take a nice deep breath in. And a long breath out. Do this twice more. Breathe in fully. Exhale completely. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. If you haven't done so yet, take a moment to close your eyes. And let yourself just fully arrive here. Anything that happened to you before this moment, whether that was today or 5 years ago, let it stay in the past. Anything that's going to happen, whether that's this afternoon or in a month, just let it stay in the future. Let yourself be here and breathe here, being fully present for yourself. Beginning with a little check-in of the present moment. Asking yourself the question, how does my body feel today? Maybe it's feeling strong. Maybe it's a little achy. And asking yourself, how does my mind feel today? Maybe it's focused, or perhaps it's scattered or jumping from one thing to the next. And then asking yourself, how am I feeling emotionally today? Maybe you're feeling a little tender, or maybe you're excited, or really grateful, happy or sad. Just let yourself be whatever you are today, knowing that this changes from moment to moment. And when we are present, when we are paying attention, we can connect with those feelings, whether they're a physical sensation or an emotional feeling. We can connect to them, we can tend to them, we can move through them, we can create with them. Repeat this in your mind. I give myself permission to be here now. I give myself permission to feel here now. I give myself permission to breathe here now. And let's do just that. Take a long, deep breath in from your toes to the crown of your head. And exhale from the crown of your head to your toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Allow a soft smile to come to your face. Before you open your eyes, I invite you to pause and think of something you are grateful for in this moment right now. When you have that, blink your eyes open, wiggle your fingers, your toes. Maybe move your head and neck from side to side, just a gentle stretch through the neck. Head and neck come back through to center stillness. And let's inhale, reach your fingers away from your toes. Give yourself a beautiful good morning stretch. And then as you exhale, hug one knee and then the other into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe you can rock gently side to side, massaging through your lower back here. Maybe it feels good for you to be in stillness. This is a great release for the lower back. On your next inhale, let's find another good morning stretch. Lots of space across the front of your body. Begin to feel yourself opening up to this moment. And then as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest again. Give yourself another squeeze. You're welcome to lift head, neck, and shoulders up off of the mat if that feels good for you. If not, don't do it. Remember, it's just an invitation. Coming back through to center, keep your right knee hugged in. And as you inhale, extend your left leg long. So just pause and notice if this creates any instability through the pelvis or any pulling through your low back. Just bend into the left knee and keep the left foot planted on the earth. Remember, there's no right or wrong. Pull your right thigh in towards your chest. Lengthen through your spine as you breathe in and out. Begin to make some circles in one direction with your right ankle. And then move the circles in the opposite direction, just bringing some mobility into our joints as we get started. Coming back to stillness, let's make that circle with our hip socket this time. So hands are on the top of the knee, making circles here as though you're like stirring a pot, lubricating through the hip joint now. Take your circles in the opposite direction. So just notice if there's anywhere that might get a little stuck or feel a little stuck. That's totally normal and natural. Our hips are a very large joint in the body. They're responsible for a lot, both physically and emotionally. So we store a lot of tension there. And then come back through to center. Now take your right hand to the front of your right shin and your left hand on the top of your left hip and just pause. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, begin to peel your right knee open. So opening up through your right hip. Keep your right foot flexed. Your hand is on the top of your left hip to keep your left hip anchored down in space. Drop through your shoulders, lift through your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, bring the leg back through to center. Now take your left hand onto your right shin and extend your right arm all the way out. Take a nice deep breath into the belly. As you exhale, nice spinal twist here, right leg across the left side of the body. So it's important to keep the right shoulder and left shoulder both anchored onto the earth. So you might not go very far. You might twist all the way over. Do what feels good for your body right now. Maybe you turn your gaze over to your right fingertips if that feels good. But wherever you are, release any tension you're holding on to in your lower back. Release any tension in your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And then inhale, bring the right knee back through to center. Give it a little squeeze. Bend your left knee in, plant your left foot down on the earth, and allow the outside of your right foot to come onto the center of the left thigh, creating a little triangle shape with the legs. Right foot is flexed. Right knee is working toward the front edge of your mat to really open up through your right hip. Take a moment here to pause. If you'd like a little bit more, you're welcome to lift that left leg up, maybe reaching around to grab your hands around the back of your left thigh. Breathing. Noticing how you feel again. How does your body feel in this shape? How does your mind feel in this shape? How are you feeling emotionally in this shape? Take a nice deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then slowly lower the left leg if it's lifted. Let's all bend into the left leg and then inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. Pause here for a moment. Palms going face down either side of the hips. And then point the right toes and then flex the right toes. Nice job. If the backs of your hamstrings are really tight, you might notice that it's hard to get the legs straight. That's totally fine. We're just going to wake the core up a little bit here. So we're going to lower the leg for a count of 5. 4, maintain length. 3, feel your low belly support this. 2, on the 1, just hover just above the earth. And then exhale to lower it down. Good job. Inhale, extend and reach. Space across the front of your body. Exhale, hug it in. Give yourself a squeeze. You are so worthy of your own affection, your own attention, and your own time. Take another nice deep breath in. Feel length from the crown of your head all the way down your tailbone. And then as you exhale, extend your right leg nice and long on your yoga mat. Hug your left knee up and in towards the chest. Again, you always have the option to bend in the right knee and place the right foot down on the mat if that feels good for you. Pause and breathe. Maybe make some circles in one direction with your left ankle. And then the other. Noticing that even though we're going to do the same things on both sides of the body, one side might feel completely different. That's totally normal and natural. Coming back through to center, let's take those circles into the left hip. So especially in our hips, you might notice left hip might feel a little bit more open or a little bit more tight. You might notice what I call like a sticky spot in your hip. When you're trying to move, it gets kind of stuck there. Maybe you kind of pause and breathe there a little bit. And then take your circles in the opposite direction. Just letting yourself be here. Nice job. Come back through to center. Hug the left knee in. And then take your right hand and place it onto your right hip. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, peel your left hip, open up toward the left side. Keep your right hip anchored. Stay soft through the shoulders. Stay soft through the face. Feel your body beginning to open. Your mind opening as well. Yoga is so much more than just a physical practice. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Left knee comes back to center. Right hand onto the left shin. Extend your left arm straight out from your shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, come into your spinal twist. So remember, only twisting as far as you can while maintaining connection to the earth with both of your shoulders. Maybe you extend your gaze over your left shoulder out towards your left fingertips. Wherever you are, relax your lower back. Breathe deeply into your belly. Let yourself twist and wring out any emotions or thoughts that don't serve you anymore. One more deep breath in. Long breath out. And then bring your way back through to center. Nice job. Give that left leg a squeeze. And then let's all bend into the right leg. Right foot plants onto the earth. Outside of the left foot comes to the center of the right thigh. So it's very important to stay flexed through both the feet. This helps to protect your knee joints. So left knee is encouraged towards the front of your mat. Feel length across your spine here. You're welcome to stay right here, or if you want a bit more, pull the right leg up and in toward the chest, and maybe you encourage it by giving it a little hug up and in toward the chest. Remembering that this is your practice for your body, so you do what feels good for you. But let's all take a nice community breath in and exhale it out. Again, nice deep breath in. Smooth breath out. And then drop the right leg if it is lifted. Hands come on either side of your hips. Inhale, extend the left leg up toward the ceiling and take a moment here. Point the toes and flex the toes. Point the toes, flex the toes. Again, noticing how left side might feel different than the right. And let yourself just pause here for a moment. Connecting to your lower belly to allow your low belly to support this movement. Internal strength. You have a lot of it. Take a nice deep breath in as we lower for 5, 4, 3. Notice if you're trying to move faster. 2. Hover on the 1. Pause and breathe. And then lower. Inhale, extend arms long, extend legs long. Beautiful good morning stretch. As you exhale, pull the knees into the chest, but this time grab onto the backs of your thighs. Extend both legs straight up toward the sky for a moment, and then fold the legs back over the arms, coming into a rock and roll motion up and down the spine. So let yourself be a little bit silly here. No one's in your house watching you, or maybe they are, but your family already knows how weird you are, right? So just let yourself rock and roll a little bit here, massaging out the spine, little movement, little bit of play. Don't take yourself so seriously. It's just yoga. And then come on up into tabletop position. So coming straight over into all fours. In your tabletop pose, spread your fingers as wide as you can, so lots of space in between each fingertip. Insides of the elbows shine forward. Shoulders are over your wrists. Your hips are over top of your knees. Lots of length through the spine so your low belly draws up and in here. Good job. We'll do a little cat-cow. Lots of love for your spine here. So as you inhale, drop your belly, open your heart, take your gaze up. As you exhale, round through the spine, claw through the fingertips, gaze comes to your navel center. Again, inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, take your gaze up. This is so good for your spine. Exhale, slowly round it. One more on your own breath. And then coming back through to center. Nice job. When you are ready, inhale, extend your right leg straight back and keep your right toes on the earth for a moment. Just shift forward and back. Little stretching through the calf here. Feel your low belly support you. And when you're ready, if you want to, you can float your right leg up off of the mat here. Coming into spinal balance pose, a little bit of strength for your core. If you want to, you can extend left arm alongside left ear, but only if it feels good for your body. This is your practice. Don't worry about looking at me. Keep your gaze down toward the ground so that your head and neck are an extension of your spine. If you start to shake a little bit, no, that's totally normal and natural. Let's take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, pull your elbow in towards your knee. Maybe squeeze it in, squeeze the heel up towards your glute. Inhale, extend and reach. You have so much strength. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend and reach. You've got one more just like this. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend it and reach it. As you exhale, take your left hand down. Take your right knee down and pause. Notice how you feel. Be right here, right now, nowhere else. Bump your hips to the left. Take your gaze over your right shoulder, making the shape of a C with your body. Inhale through to center. Exhale, hips to the right. Gaze over your left shoulder, making the shape of a C on the other side. Inhale, come back to your tabletop pose. Feel yourself nice and rooted. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, extend your left leg straight back. And then begin to rock forward and back. And forward and back, just getting a nice stretch through the calf. And then if you would like to, feel free to float your left foot up off the earth. So again, low belly is supporting this. That's that internal strength you have. If you want to, right arm alongside right ear. Be right here. Be in the challenge. Be in the joy. Whatever's with you, be right here. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, option, elbow to knee squeeze. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, elbow to knee squeeze. Inhale, extend it and reach it. Exhale, elbow to knee squeeze. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, gently lower right hand and left knee. Bring your knees nice and wide, big toes come together to touch. Walk your hands out and your hips back. Melt your forehead to the earth, child's pose. Let your hips hang heavy. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Reach your fingertips out in front. Feel the extension of your spine as you breathe in and out. A little sinus massage, rock your forehead side to side on your mat. Release any tension you might be holding on to, not just in your forehead, but also in your mind. Child's pose is a great place to come anytime throughout practice that you just want a little break. You just want to come down on your mat and hang out. There's no right or wrong way to do this practice. Just do it for you. Head and neck come back through to center. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out, audible sigh. And then slowly inhale. Peel your way back up into your tabletop position. So again, fingers are spread nice and wide. Insides of elbows shine forward, preparing to come into downward facing dog. So tucking your toes behind you. Breathe in. Exhale, peel your hips up towards the sky. Drop your heels down toward the earth. Downward facing dog. Your heart pulls towards your toes. If the backs of your legs are feeling tight, keep a nice deep bend in the knees. Maybe it feels great for you right now to walk your dog, so alternate bending one knee at a time. Maybe it feels really good for you to bend in both knees, dropping them down towards the earth, stretching through your Achilles. Do anything that feels good in this pose, and if you're like, I have no idea what might feel good in this pose, then it's a great time to explore. Or find stillness. We're here for 2 more rounds of breath. So whatever you need for 2 more rounds of breath, be here now so you can see what your body needs, what your mind needs, what you need emotionally. When you can show up and be present, then you can meet those needs and you can explore new parts of yourself. One more breath in and out. Inhale, look up in between your hands. As you exhale, walk your feet up toward your hands and let yourself hang down in a forward fold. Super deep bend in the knees here. Let your head go, let your neck go. Full spinal decompression. Do anything that feels good. So maybe that's pedaling through the knees. Maybe it's swaying side to side. Shake your head yes. Say yes to the things you want more of in your life. And then shake your head no. Say no to the things that don't serve you anymore. Another deep breath in and out. And then bend in the knees, slowly roll up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then open the heart. Release them down the back, mountain pose. Pause for a moment. Strong, stable, and steady. Be right here. When you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Lots of length, lots of space. As you exhale, hinge at your hips. Swan dive your way forward, back down into your forward fold. Let your head go. Let your neck go yet again. Maybe you're feeling the backs of the legs begin to open up just a little bit more. Nice job. Then when you're ready, bring your hands either onto the shins or the tops of the thighs. Roll the shoulders down the back, lifting up halfway. So feel your low belly draw up and in here. And then exhale to lower all the way down. Vinyasa flow, bending your knees enough to plant your hands. Step 1 foot back and then the other to come into a high plank posture. So in high plank, shoulders and wrists are in a straight line. And there's a straight line of energy from the crown of your head all the way to your heels. So try to keep your heart lifted, keep your core lifted. Always the option to come to your knees if that feels best for you. Remember, this is your practice. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. If you can be present and breathe in high plank, you can do that anywhere. When you're ready, let's all drop to the knees, lowering through a chaturanga. So elbows hug into the side body, lower all the way to the earth. Take a deep breath in here and a long breath out. Feel the tops of your feet root into the earth, your pubic bone. Hands are rooted, elbows hug in toward one another. Inhale, find a little back bend, open up through your heart. Maybe you smile. Exhale, pull back on your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a nice, long, deep breath in. Side out, exhale. Preparing for 3-legged dog. So Inhale, lift your right leg. Keep your hips nice and square. If this doesn't work, you're welcome to come back down into that balancing tabletop pose. As you exhale, pull the right knee up and in toward the chest. You've been here before, just in tabletop. And then step your right foot up in between your hands. Nice job. Runner's lunge. Remove your shoulders from your ears. Feel the beautiful stretch across the front of your left leg. Feel the strength of your right leg. And then when you're ready, drop your right knee down to the earth. Ensure that there's a straight line between the right knee and the right ankle, just to help protect your joints. You're welcome to take your hands and walk them up your right thigh. Maybe you start to stack your shoulders over top of your hips. Feel the length and the strength here. And maybe you inhale, reach your arms up alongside your ears. Be here. Breathe here. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out. Bring your hands down on either side of your right foot. Slowly begin to walk your hands back towards your hips, beginning to straighten-ish through your right leg. I say ish because there's no need to fully extend the right leg. You can keep a bend in the right knee. Just a nice stretch for your hamstrings. So inhale, remove your shoulders from your ears, lengthen. As you exhale, you're welcome to reach your heart towards your toes, or if it's too much, just stay lifted. Maybe you're up here. Be where you are today. Breathe in and out. And then walk your hands back to frame your right foot. Your left hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Take your right hand on the top of your left thigh, or on your right thigh, and twist. Try to keep your hips square forward, twisting through the midline of the body. Take a nice long breath in and a long breath out. Good job. Bring your right hand back down to frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes, energize your left leg, and step your right foot back to meet your left downward facing dog. Now you have an option here. You could stay in downward dog. You could drop down into your child's pose. Or if you'd like to, you can take a vinyasa flow, coming through to your plank, your chaturanga, and your upward facing dog. Do whatever feels good for you. That will require you to check in with yourself. How am I feeling? What do I need in this moment? And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. For a community breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth with an audible sigh. So breathe in. Let it go. When you're ready, inhale, lift your left leg. As you exhale, step the left foot up in between the hands, pausing in your lunge. So again, feel your shoulders move away from your ears. Feel the strength of your front leg and the stability of your back leg. Tons of length through your spine. And then drop your right knee down to the earth and pause here. This is a great place to be if this is where you feel best. Play around with what feels good for you. You can walk your hands to the top of your left thigh. Maybe you even straighten a little bit and think about stacking your shoulders over top of your hips and then sinking in a little bit deeper. Do what feels good for you. There's no right or wrong. Option to inhale, reach your arms up alongside your ears. Feel your beautiful heart center shine forward. Connect fully to this breath, to this moment. I'm so, so grateful to share this moment with you. Thank you for being here. When you're ready, hands come down on either side of the left foot and begin to walk your hands back towards your hips and begin to straighten-ish through your left leg. So remembering that One side might feel way different than the other. My left hand is way tighter than my right. That doesn't mean I skip the right side when I stretch. It means I do the left side for twice as long. So if you notice there's an imbalance in your body, maybe you pause this video and you stretch the one side for twice as long, or maybe after the video is over, you just return to it. But wherever you are, take some nice deep breaths in and out. And then walking your hands back forward to frame that left foot. Right hand comes to the inside of the left. Try to keep the hips forward. Left hand to the top. Coming into your twist, knowing that twists help to wring us out physically and emotionally. So if there's anything you want to let go of, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let it go. Hands come back down to frame your left foot. Energize your right leg. And then step back to your downward dog. So again, you have the same options. You can come down to a child's pose. You can hang out in your down dog. You can move through a vinyasa. Do whatever feels really good for you. Just allowing yourself to be here right now. Take nice deep breaths in and out wherever you are. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. And when you are ready, look up in between your hands and step your feet up to your hands. As many steps as you want to hang down in your forward fold. Deep bend in the knees, knowing this is so nourishing, not just for the body, but also for the mind. Shake your head yes. Say yes to things that you want more of in your life. Shake your head no, let go of anything you don't want anymore. Come back through to center and slowly roll up the body one vertebrae at a time to come back into your mountain pose. Nice job. So your feet are underneath your hips. Your quadriceps are engaged, lots of length through the front of your body, space through your heart, palms reach forward, mountain posture. Just pause here and breathe. Maybe close your eyes for a moment, recognizing that regardless of the season, right, whether the mountain is covered in the flowers of summer or it's snow-capped in the winter, that the mountain is steady and strong and present. It's not worrying about the past. It's not focusing on the future. It is just here right now. So let yourself be here right now. With that intention of being here, blink your eyes open and bring your hands to your heart center as we test a little bit of balance. Balance is a great way to keep ourselves in the present moment. Shift the weight into your right leg, and then when you are ready, draw your left knee up and in towards your chest and pause here. So feel your low belly here to support you. Feel this length through your spine. We actually were here before on our back, so hug your left knee up and in towards your chest and stand nice and tall and proud. Inviting yourself to just be right here, right now, in this moment. So take your right hand and place it on your right hip. Pause and breathe. Keep your heart lifted, and then just begin to open your left hip up out to the left-hand side. Your right hand's on your right hip to keep it anchored and also to keep it square with the front of your yoga mat. Stand up tall and proud, just like you do in your mountain. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your left knee back to center. Take your right hand on the top of your left leg. Now you have the option here to stay, or you may twist. Maybe you take your left hand to your left hip crease. Maybe you reach it back behind you and you take your gaze over your left shoulder, coming into that spinal twist we did in the beginning of practice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back through to center, pause, release the leg, let it hover. Maybe you extend it straight out and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are amazing. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So shift the weight into the left leg. Bend into your right knee, and then when you're ready, pull the right knee up and in toward the chest and pause. So balancing poses are so effective for being fully present. So let yourself be here. My leg is shaking. Notice if you're shaking. Notice what your mind is doing. Notice how you're feeling. Breathe with it. Be with yourself here. And then wrap your hands around the front of your right leg. Hug it in towards the chest. Stand up tall and proud like you do in your mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good job. Take your left hand to your left hip. Open your right leg up out to the side. Keep your left leg nice and square. Feel where you are. Breathe in and out. And then inhale, bring your right knee back through to center. Let's switch hands. So left hand comes onto the right shin. Your right hand can come back to your right hip crease, or it can reach behind you. Come into a nice spinal twist, but knowing that if you move your gaze, it's going to test your balance even more. Just stay where you are and breathe where you are for one more breath in. One more breath out. Come back through to center. Maybe you extend your legs straight out, and let's lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Step your feet nice and wide on your yoga mat. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingertips. Open up through your heart center. Take your gaze up for a moment, stretching across the front of the body. And then taking your hands to your hips is called Superman or Superwoman pose. You can probably see why. Feel your own personal power in this moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Soft bend in your knees as you begin to hinge your hips back, your torso forward, and come into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Do anything that feels good with your hands. Maybe you let them find the mat here. Maybe you grab outsides of your feet. Maybe you keep them at your hips. Maybe you walk them back in line with the feet. Do whatever feels good, but just stay connected to your inhales and your exhales. Allow the hands to return back to the hips. Put a bend in your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring your way back up to standing. Trust yourself here. Heel toe your feet together without looking down. Coming back into your mountain pose. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees enough to plant the hands. And then step one foot back and then the other. Downward facing dog. Last down dog of the practice. Make it count. Nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Then slowly drop down to the knees. Cross at the ankles. Come into a seated position. Just for a little heart opener here. Little shoulder opener options as well. So you are welcome to take your left arm, reach it up to the sky, and then pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself you're doing a good job, because you are. You can take your right hand to the top of your left elbow and just get a nice stretch here. This is a great place to be, maintaining a tall spine. Maybe like pushing the back of your head into your arm. If you want a little bit more, you can reach the right arm around the back and see if you can grab onto your left fingertips with your right. But just be where you are and breathe wherever you are. For another breath in and out. Gently release the arms. Let's do the other side. So inhale your right hand up. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing enough. You're doing a really good job. Maybe you find that stretch grabbing onto the right elbow, pulling it back. Beautiful stretch to the triceps. Chest is lifted, heart is lifted. Maybe you reach your left arm back and around to find a little bind of fingertips, but only if that feels good for you. Take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. And again, breathe in and out. And then slowly release. We'll prepare to lower onto our backs in any way that feels good for you. So if you want a little bit more core work, you can lower down for a 10 count. If you just kind of want to lay back, do whatever feels good for you. But let's arrive and give ourselves a nice good morning stretch. And then hug the knees into the chest again. Maybe a rock side to side, maybe stillness. And then let's plant both feet down on the mat. Knees are up towards the sky, hands besides the hips. Roll the shoulders underneath you. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your hips up towards the sky to come into a bridge posture. Lots of length across the front of the body, lots of rootedness through the lower body. Feel the inner thighs squeeze in towards one another. Stay for another inhale. And exhale, lower. Begin to windshield wiper the legs side to side, releasing the lower back. And now is my favorite time of every practice. I'm going to give you a few moments to do any poses or any stretches that feel really good for you. So asking your body right now in this moment, what is it that I need? I'll give you a couple of options to help guide you. If you want a more intense heart opener, you come into a wheel pose. If you want a little inversion, you could just do legs up the wall without a wall, or scoot your bum against the wall and use the wall to do it. You could come into a shoulder stand. Maybe it feels good for you to come into a happy baby. So just ask your body, what is it that I need before I lay down for relaxation, and then give yourself that. We will have about 5 to 6 breaths for this. So nice long breaths. I'll tell you when we're about halfway there. If you chose a pose with 2 sides, please switch to the other side. And then slowly begin to make your way down for your final relaxation, Shavasana, just as we started our yoga practice. So legs long, arms long, relaxing on your mat. Let's take a nice deep breath in to arrive. And an exhale to land. Knowing that there's nothing you need to do right now. There's nowhere else you need to be, except right here, right now. Give yourself permission to relax the muscles of your physical body. Give yourself permission to pause the thinking mind. And if you notice it's having a hard time pausing, then maybe you just acknowledge the fact that there are thoughts coming in and that you don't have to do anything with them right now. And giving your emotional body permission to relax, to restore, and to rest. Feeling your breath move in. Feeling your breath move out. Staying in the stillness. Staying in this moment. Staying with yourself until you hear the sound of the chime. And when you hear the sound of the chime, then you can deepen your breath and invite in small movements, but give yourself a few moments to reside. This is where the magic happens on your mat. The space in between the breath, the space in between the postures, the pause, the presence. Be here and breathe here. Slowly begin to wiggle in fingers and toes. Maybe rock your head side to side, deepen your breath. Give yourself a beautiful good morning stretch. Hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. Showing so much gratitude for yourself for taking this time for you. With great care to your body, gently roll off onto one side. And then slowly come up into a seated position. As we close our practice today, I've brought our mantra cards, our positive affirmation cards, and I'm just going to give them a shuffle and pull a card for all of you today with a positive message. Maybe it'll be something that resonates with you, or maybe it's a message that you need to hear, something that you can carry into the rest of this conference. I don't know, this was the one that just came to me. Oh, I am friendly. So maybe this is just your little reminder that you are an amazing person, that you do such wonderful things for the children that you work with, and I'm sure your families, your communities, and your friends. So just a little reminder that you are friendly and that is so appreciated in this world. Let's all take a nice deep breath in, reach your arms up. Gather up all the goodness you created during your practice and plant it into your heart. All of the light in me sees all of the light in you. I'm so grateful to share this practice with you, this time, this space, this earth, this mission of helping children and making the world a happier and healthier place. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.